All right.
What's
Hello,
going
hello.
on?
Welcome to another brand new episode
Brand
of the
spanking
Opinion
new.
City podcast. I am King Ralphie's Parmesan. We're your
What
hosts
up?
through this madness that is Opinion City, and
Yes,
another awesome episode. We're super
of course.
excited. We had a chance to talk to our guest today during our CZW interviews at Cage of
Yes,
Death,
Cage of Death.
and
Check it
so
out.
we're super excited. Sean, who we got today, and what is our top five? Because I know you're pretty excited about it.
If you can't tell, he's on the screen to my left is Nico Gray from CZW. His top five. I'm so excited for because I am a nerd for this. If not for wrestling, it is also this. So he's doing top five iterations of the Power Rangers, and
Boy.
it's a special place in
All
my
right.
heart. I'm so excited.
No, I'm
so it's
listen, man. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great episode. Again, we're super excited for our guest today, and you know what? Let's get this party started.
Let's
is
do
time.
it.
Episode 94 starts
Right
now.
yeah.
All right, and
All
we
right.
are back. And not only are we on the road to WrestleMania, we are on the road to our 2-year anniversary. And as we
Yeah.
get there, we stop off here at episode 94 with today's special guest, Nico Gray. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Gentlemen, it is a pleasure and happy second anniversary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
we're very close. Very,
Yeah,
very
we got-
close.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff.
like 2
coming
And
up.
months.
WrestleMania just got a whole lot interesting. Let me tell you about that.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
After God knows how many years, we finally have fucking heel Cena.
Dude, my favorite
Yes.
part about that is that on Facebook, King Ralphie wrote as soon as he won the chamber, Mania is ruined forever. And then 5 minutes later, as soon as he turned heel, he wrote, "I rescind my last statement."
Yeah, yeah,
I immediately take it back.
yeah. Well, listen. Just remember, as we head towards WrestleMania, he's watching you.
right. He's always watching.
That,
Yeah,
that's that.
Listen, not only Seal Hina or Heel Cena. What am I saying? I'm so excited about it. But not only Heel Cena, but like they're changing things at the last minute, like Io Sky winning the world title.
Yup.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
They're doing
insane.
twists and turns abound this year.
Like,
I think they really realized that after last year, they need to step it up this year because last year was obviously Mania 40, all
Yeah.
this stuff with Rock and Cody and
Huge.
whatever. So how can we make it bigger? Heel Cena,
Indeed.
let's go.
Well, let's look at the rundown. Heel Cena. You have no idea what's going to go on. Who's Royal Rumble again? Winner?
Men's Rumble,
yeah.
Jay Uso.
Jey Uso. That's right.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah. Listen.
Eh.
I have the perfect statement for Jay Uso.
No,
There
ye.
you have it. I told my wife last night that's what I'm doing from now on.
Yeah, and
No,
then,
ye.
you got, and also you have like Noah and TNA Impact like in the mixture of things too.
I'd
So
say-
you
Yeah,
have
dude,
no
it's-
idea who's going to show up.
It's insane.
I know.
The fact that that merge or that not merger
A
Partnership.
Yeah.
Thank you. Partnership even happened is
Mhm.
insane. The fact that we're gonna have TNA wrestlers in the current WWE 2K game is
Oh,
insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like we live in a world where everything is upside down and nothing makes sense in wrestling anymore.
Sure.
Because if Vince were still around, none of this would be happening right now. None of this would happen right now if Vince was still in charge.
Sure.
No, we would all be banging our heads against the walls and be like, when will the old man die?
Right. Pretty
Well,
much.
and not that it's not great every year, but when you look at this year, it's almost like we've got like 3 nights of Mania, because Stand and Deliver is going to be such a big show.
It's going to be
this year with
huge too.
everything
Yeah.
that's going on, and with NXT and TNA, it's insane right now to think about what we get to watch every week on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the crossovers, which is, again, insane that we are now live in a world where WWE is open and ready to do any and all crossovers that make sense to them.
Yeah. Plus, you got like NXT and NXT Evolve, and then LFG.
LFG,
yes.
yeah.
Which is like the new version of Tough Enough.
Tough Enough. That's what everybody's been saying too.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the WWE Evolve right now. I watched the first episode on Tubi, and they've got some really good talents down there. They've got some really good prospects. I mean, they really kind of went out of their way to look and see people, not just for a gimmick or a specific look. They really went out and found some talented people. So I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, I know Selena Vega personally, and
oh wow, look at you name dropping.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, she was at like the anniversary show too.
Yeah.
And I met I think his name is Jason Drake.
Okay.
And he stopped for a cup of coffee in CZW, so nice guy and everything. So
yeah.
Right. Cool. So let's talk about you.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
For those who might be, living under a rock, or those who may not be in the know, in your own words, who is Nico Gray?
Nico Gray has been grinding for the last 9.5 years on the independent circuit.
Wow.
It's too fucking long. So,
right.
And just wants to, have the ball put in his corner and then let him run.
Right.
Like I'm, my wife calls me the abused workhorse of professional wrestling.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So talking about 9.5 years in the business. So talk a little bit about your training at the CZW Academy. Talk a little bit about how you ended up there, why you chose that.
Yeah. So I've been a fan of CZW since I was in middle school. It's like you look up, like it was like probably not the dawn of the internet, but like, oh hey, let's see what's going on. Like nothing to do in class, so I just type in pro wrestling in Philadelphia, closest city, whatnot. First thing comes up, Combat Zone Wrestling. I'm like, the fuck is this? Click on the link. The 5th episode of CZW Wired episode 5 came along. First match, Adam Cole, Drew Gulak, CZW Wired Championship. Fell in love with it. Next match, Sami Callihan versus Rich Swann. Immediately to see if there was a school nearby. So, and at the time, don't have a car. I'm like, okay, I gotta keep an eye on this place.
Yeah.
So then a couple of years later down the road, like I was 23. I felt I was like in and out wrestling. Then I started to do more, looking into CZW and whatnot. Discovered deathmatch wrestling, discovered Tournament of Death, discovered, watched more Sami Callihan matches. It just fueled the fire and fueled to wanting to do more with it. And me being a second generation wrestler, I said to I promised myself I will do better than my biological father, aka my fucking sperm donor. So it's what I call him. But Yeah. So training at 23 years old, riding down to CZW every Wednesday, Thursday, part-time job,
Mm-hmm.
working out countless hours. Like I miss ever since pandemic, I miss my 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. workouts.
Ooh,
Like,
Wow.
yeah, it's
that's
I
crazy.
fucking miss it.
Mhm.
But training there, tough. Like, still, like, we're in the era of like tough love training.
Right.
Mhm.
Not like, oh, hey, like everybody gets a chance. No, this is like tough love training
Right.
before Me Too movement, before anything else, before, God knows what. So we're
Yeah.
talking like bear crawls, military stretches. We're talking like just anything you could think of at CZ at the training center. So I was built tough and everything, and was part of a dying breed of
Mhm.
like students to come through CZW of that tough love training.
Right.
So
Now, you mentioned hardcore wrestling and the hardcore style. What about that style of wrestling are you attracted to?
So I'm gonna blame my stepfather on this one. He would show me ECW shows
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and the ones he skipped school to go to.
Oh,
So
okay.
he would show me tapes of him at the arena and everything, and just falling in love with that, falling in love in the attitude area where it was just like you don't know what's going to happen. Everybody
Right.
has a story and everything, and just the sheer chaotic animosity with everything.
Right.
So, like the dawn of TLC matches,
Mhm.
like the crazy Terry Funk flaming barbed
Oh
wire
my
matches
God,
with
yeah.
Sabu. And ironically, the first time I laid eyes on WWF at the time was Undertaker versus Mankind,
Yep.
Hell in a Cell, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just the rest is history with that.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. My wife is a big Drew McIntyre fan, and she had never seen a Hell in a Cell match before. So I said, listen, I said, I'll show you what it's all about. I said, you need to be prepared going in.
Yes.
So I showed her
Yeah.
Prepared.
Taker and Mankind, and she was just like horrified. Now they took it in a different direction, but a much more intense match
Yeah.
they had. But yeah, she was not a fan of that. But it's funny when you talk about like Tournament of Death and these different things. Like I can see in my mind the old CZW shows, such a standard bearer for that a type of wrestling at the time. So for you, in your opinion, what do you think really kind of makes CZW stand out among the rest?
Tournament of Death,
Mhm.
the original,
Mhm.
the original deathmatch tournament.
Right.
You have high flyers, and then if you add the originators of like high flying acrobatics or whatever you want to call it nowadays, of like high flyer wrestling and cruiserweight wrestling, like the independents took it to another level. Yeah, you had your WCW cruiserweights, you had your Lucha Libre and ECW,
Yeah.
and you had like I guess you want to, what? Let's leave the WWF light heavyweight division out of this and focus on All Japan and New Japan junior
Right.
heavyweights.
Right.
So like that, like
Yeah.
we took it to another. It took it to another level, and then to add the hardcore amount to it, like you crank it up to 11. Plus, you had like the amazing tag team matches and everything too. So CZW was like the most standout company of that time, of the 90s.
Right.
And then you just go back in the history books about it, and then you're just like, holy shit, we were fucking legit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
and
and there's so many stars from CZW that are now in the mainstream. Like you mentioned Adam Cole, you mentioned all these other names. Like there's so many big names that went through CZW and it came out their side and are now working for WWE, TNA, AEW. Like CZW is so much more a proving ground than people think, because it really shows your test of metal to what you can do outside of CZW because of
Yeah.
how barbaric it can get.
I'm lucky enough. I'm lucky enough to be called one of the last of Joe Gacy's kids
Mm-hmm.
in his group. So,
Wow.
well, I'm gonna take whatever he taught us throughout that time that when he was with CZW. I'm gonna take it to the grave.
Right.
Or
Very cool.
when we get our we're CZW right now is in a lot of moving parts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a school and whatnot, but once we get a school and everything, I can't wait to pass on his teachings to the
Mhm.
next generation.
Right.
That's awesome. Shout out to Joe Gacy.
Yes.
Very
Huge
cool.
shout out to Joe Gacy.
Yeah, when you look at CZW, and you don't necessarily get this everywhere, but when you look at CZW, you have such a well-rounded card. You've got something for everybody. Every type of fan, every type of style, and I think CZW really benefited from being in like the Philadelphia area, that whole area. It was such a hotbed of wrestling at that time. It was, as far as the East Coast goes, I mean, it was the place to be at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're apparent, and we're a riot to a bunch to the amount of fans that fly out to either Cage of Death, Tournament of Death, or or Best of the Best for that matter.
Yeah.
Just the amount of melting pot of fans that we get is unbelievable. We get German fans, we get Japanese press, we get UK press and everything. We just started going back to Germany and Europe and everything, and they fucking love us over there.
Yeah. So
these events become like destination places. I have some friends that are into the deathmatch scene, and these things become things that are like they're checking on the calendar every year, and they're like, I'm going every year because I just can't miss it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on your current home base at ACX1 Studios over there in AC?
It's amazing. The amount of when you walk into the building, the amount of promos we can film, the amount of stuff we filmed, that whole Cage of Death preview and everything. If you saw it, where everybody's in the restaurant, and it was the restaurant of the Continental of John Wick and everything.
Yeah,
it that whole scene. That we filmed so much more that I wished we could have produced too, but there was a lot more scenes we could have added and whatnot. But hey, you want to get the message across, and that was the message we put across.
Right.
So
the building is insane. I mean, there's multiple levels there. It is when you step in there, you look at it and you say, this is almost like this place was built for wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then on top of that, you look out the window and you're 10 feet from the ocean.
It's
right there. That was insane.
I don't apologize to whoever my next opponent is. Your ass is going into that ocean.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. You're getting dumped in the ocean, my friend.
Piss me off. Yes. Piss me off enough, and I will throw your ass into that ocean.
Yeah. Nice.
Speaking of the Cage of Death, would you yourself ever want to do a Cage of Death?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, really?
I'm probably the only one in my core group of graduates from 2018 that wants to do Cage of Death, Tournament of Death. I want to do it all because apparently I'm the only one with the biggest nutsack that will ever do it.
There you go.
So, I mean, this space is not made for TV. No, they're worried about WWE. No, this face is made for international tours and Japan. So
right,
see,
there you go. Exactly.
You fit right in.
I'm throwing that out there, promoters of Japan and Germany.
Right.
Listen,
that's right. That's
yes,
right.
All of you that are listening from far off lands. I know we have a lot of listeners in India, so pass that along.
I've been seeing a lot of Indian stuff and Iran stuff, like wrestling promotions popping up too. It's insane.
Dude, it's crazy. Literally, like, people forget that there's so many promotions out there. I mean, we spoke to the guy who runs WrestleMaps, and WrestleMaps is literally like you see wrestling from all aspects of the world, and it's not just us. It's not just UK, Canada. It's everywhere, everywhere.
Yo, let's fucking talk like what's that one promotion? That Nigerian promotion. With
is it the one that where
that
they like
just
wrestle
wrestles in mud? That mud,
that one. Yeah, right.
That wrestles in mud and uses hoses as a ring.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy. It's nuts.
Imagine CZW doing a show like that.
Right. Right.
Oh, geez, that would be insane. You know, it's like you're wrestling in the backyard. You know.
Oh yeah.
He was telling us about how wrestling in Nepal, they wrestle on like this mountain or whatever, and they have to walk like however many miles to get up to the mountain just to watch the wrestling match. And
that's crazy.
And people will come in droves and walk to see that wrestling show in Nepal on a mountain somewhere. Like, it's literally insane. Literally insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your wrestling fandom. And so we're going to start this off with a question that, usually makes me feel bad. Because I'm usually the oldest person in any room we're in.
Right.
But tell us, what is your earliest memory of professional wrestling?
So besides the whole Hell in the Cell pay-per-view with Undertaker Mankind, my earliest memory about wrestling is my mom and my biological father would go to matches in Pennsylvania, and my mom would run the merch stand. I would watch him wrestle too. And this is a little bit of lore behind Nico Gray and everything. My biological father's name was The Natural, Kim Serafino.
Oh.
Think of the dollar store Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That's how blunt I am with him.
Right.
So then a couple of years down the road and everything, when they got divorced and everything, my mom met my stepfather, who was there since day one.
Right.
Being 5 years old and whatnot, and then having him show me through wrestling, then showing me ECW, showing me WWF and whatnot, then taking me to my first CZW show when they were back at the arena for the very first time in the middle of winter and whatnot. You can literally see me and him in the audience.
Oh, wow.
And watching Joe Gacy versus Mike Bailey for the CZW Wire title was nuts.
Crazy.
It's just like, just looking back on those tapes and everything, it was nuts. And then ironically, like, fast forward months and everything. First you see me in the stands, all of a sudden you see me on the guardrail working security. Then we fast forward a year later, I'm one of Joe Gacy's goons in Unwanted.
Nice.
Cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, you can tell who I am too, because I was the only one wearing a black vest with the Assassin's Creed tattoo.
Nice.
I have this. I do have the Syndicate tattoo.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
Very cool.
Very good. That's awesome.
One of my favorite games ever. I do have to get a lot more too, because I feel like I gotta get another tattoo.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. I only have one tattoo. I have the 80s WWF logo on my leg, and because whenever I told anybody, like I said, if I ever get a tattoo, that's going to be the one I get. But then, I was warned ahead of time. They're like, listen, you're going to get that tattoo and you're going to immediately want more.
Right.
Now, my wife and I got tattoos as an anniversary present.
Yeah.
And she got one, and she is 100% done. There is no question
She's like, nope.
about it.
There's no going
She's like,
back.
no, I'm not going back. And she was mad. She was mad at me because she went first. Because she was like, if I have to watch you do it, I'm gonna chicken out. So she
Right.
went first, and then I did mine, and like I wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't in any pain. Like it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, and she got mad at me for not like being more in pain.
To me, it's the most literally. I don't know what it is about having a needle stick, like penetrate
Right.
your skin.
Right.
It's like just soothing to me. Like
Yeah.
I have a very high tolerance pain, a very
Same.
high tolerance pain and everything too.
Same.
Like I was at I started to wrestle for X Brand Wrestling, and one of the guys had those electric fly swatters.
Yes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
literally just like swatted me with it. I'm
Oh
like,
my
I feel
God.
nothing.
Oh,
I
geez.
felt nothing and everything. Then he's like, and it's like, really? It's not working? Motherfucker. He like hits his own and fucking stung him.
Right.
Oh no, yeah. They said to me, the shading's going to be the worst part.
Oh,
And
always.
but
right.
no,
Yeah.
it wasn't for me though. Like
it wasn't
the
for you?
shading was fine. It was when they were doing like the outline at the beginning, the ones that hey, there you
Right.
go. That's
right. There
that's
it is.
the only way to do it.
That's the only way.
by
to do
the by the way, that was an Arizona tea you were drinking there.
Yeah. Arizona tea, the green tea ones.
it. Right. Right. Oh,
Now,
those are good. Those are good.
Yes, so that's good. But here's something that's going to change your life if you can ever find it. Snapple makes something. I believe they call it Red Apple, and
No.
it is. No, have you not? Have you? No, you're not an Apple fan.
I'm not a big fan of Snapple. No.
Oh, go. Oh, there you go.
Well, listen. They make something with green tea and apple juice mixed together, and it's life changing.
I
There
will
you go.
personally do that by myself, but I will use green tea and whatever apple juice that's available.
There you
So
go.
right.
All right.
There you go.
Look at
There you
that.
go.
Just subventing the system there. All right.
Now, being a part of CZW and having watched it for so long, other than any of your matches, do you have a favorite CZW match that that is your match that you want others to go out and check out?
it's kind of lost footage at this point.
Oh,
But if anybody could find Nico Gray versus Gabriel Sky, that is literally my best match to date because I'm a huge
Ooh.
critic on myself.
mm-hmm.
And I am so mad that the footage is lost or floating out there somewhere.
Ah.
It's not. It's like it's a big question at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
But
if anybody finds the footage, either
Yes.
contact us or put it in the make a comment down below. Let us know. If you
Right.
find that
Yeah.
footage.
yeah, but as of favorite matches, I gotta. Eddie Blackwater was a former CZW guy, and the amount of I love wrestling him. It's something natural. We don't have to talk. We just have to. We know what we're gonna do and everything.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker has tried so hard to make me laugh during my matches.
Nice.
He loves whipping me with kendo sticks and everything.
Fun.
It's fun, yeah, and he,
Maybe.
so, but he was the first one to take me under his wing and everything. Actually, showed me some stuff before moving on to Joe Gacy and everything. Theo Ivory is another name that I like to wrestle with. Like, I'm a big fan of, hey, what are some points we can do, and then we just go out there and figure it out.
Right.
Or sometimes we don't talk at all and just figure it out in the ring. So that's a lost art that needs to fucking come back.
Right.
Because nowadays people know what you're gonna fucking do and whatnot.
Well, nowadays, and to me, I find it so funny because it's not just an AEW thing. Both sides do it, but both sides, the camera can catch and will catch them audibly saying out loud the next spot of the match.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're WWE, you're AEW, you can't be showing them actually talking the moves in the middle of the ring. You got to be able to like hide that. Like
Botchamania does a whole segment on it.
because of that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Well,
It's a whole thing.
Yeah. It's just, and then like when they catch something that you're not supposed to see too, it's
Right.
like, really?
Right.
So
One of the big things that always bothered us that seems to have been better in time, but back a few years ago, Ralph, you remember, where there have been a bunch of times where you see the refs holding the ladder during ladder matches.
Yeah,
And you're like,
little
dude,
things like that.
get him off the camera. Get him off the camera. Like,
So-
don't.
You know, and so we talk about like, you know, the wrestlers. You're in WWE, you're in AEW. You should be able to, you know,
Mhm.
but you also have to look at, you know, WWE and AEW production. Like, you guys are professionals. You should be, you know, you should find a way to, you know, not I don't know, but
yeah. Being a $1 billion company and then doing that at the same time, it's like,
yep.
uh,
Well, listen, I blame HD because when we were watching, you know, crappy fuzzy 80s television
Right.
wrestling, you never
they
saw any of
did
this.
everything.
Yeah, they hit everything. Everything.
Mhm. So, talking about favorites, when you were growing up watching wrestling, did you have some favorites of your own growing up?
So WWF, always Undertaker.
Yeah.
Always Undertaker.
All right.
Then Kane came along. Like I watch.
Uh-oh.
I'm a big horror guy and everything
Mhm.
too.
Mm-hmm.
So just the supernatural and whatnot wrestlers would always interest me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then like ECW, I watch Tommy Dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a favorite of mine. Got to meet him. Nicest dude ever.
Oh,
so, the FBI, like
Oh,
full-blooded
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Italians.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm a big fan of heel ECW Dudleys, just getting the crowd riled up and everything.
Oh man!
And it's it's ironic that you start doing that now today, and then it's like no one wants to get sued.
Right.
So,
right. Of course not.
Again, times have changed. Like I would kill to be in a Bruiser Brody era.
Oh my
Like,
God. Yeah. When they just didn't care. They just didn't care.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I get this a lot that I was born in the wrong era too. Me and my wife were born in the wrong era too. Like we would be like, if me and my wife Sarah were born like we're born way before, and like we lived out our like 30s through the 1930s and like 20s in that noir era, they would have been going like, who the fuck is Bonnie and Clyde? Who the fuck who the fuck is Bruno Sammartino and everything? Why is this crazy Italian like bleeding all over the place?
Right.
See, you never see. Well, you never see people time travel to do terrible stuff. It's always like,
No,
I
right.
want to time travel and go see this, or like save my parents from breaking up, or whatever it is.
Right.
You never see anybody that time travels and they're like, I just want to knock over fucking banks, man. In
Right.
every era.
Right.
I just want to steal everything I can. Like seriously, you never see that.
No.
Our situation would be, she would be like one of those singers in like the smoke bars and everything. I would work
Right.
on the railroad and wrestle on the weekends.
I would work on the railroad. You have to pick like a
Right.
physically taxing
Right.
job. You're not like, I'd be the guy on the street corner going, yeah, see, you want a newspaper, see?
Right.
He's like, no, I'm gonna build the Transcontinental Railroad. I'm gonna,
Right.
I'm gonna show you.
Build the Transcontinental Railroad while wearing the WWF Championship. Do it.
Right.
go. There you go.
Exactly.
Man, that's a time travel story that I'm in for.
Right.
Like I would enjoy that.
So,
WWE2K, do it.
Right.
Listen,
Right.
there you
do
go.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So here's a question for you. If you were to have a dream deathmatch opponent, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Honestly, I know the head honcho is gonna hate me for this.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
It's physically possible
Oh.
Okay.
if he feels like it. I would love to see Nico Gray versus Sami Callihan
Ooh.
CW deathmatch.
Oh man.
Because you can now get Nico Gray versus Nick Gage.
Yep.
You can get Nico Gray versus Judge Doro Dredd, who I am dude.
Judge Dredd. Oh, dude,
love
that match
his
with
work.
Knuckles was crazy.
Love his work and everything.
Yeah.
I was this fucking close to facing Mickey Knuckles too.
Jeez. I couldn't even imagine.
But that show got canceled, and I'm still fucking pissed about that.
Right.
So, but
Wow.
Sami Callihan is a good choice, though. That's a great pick
That is
for
a good choice.
deathmatch wrestling.
He was my inspiration to join CZW, to actually take the step of becoming a professional wrestler.
There you go.
So, that is the dream match. And, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, who knows? I saw. So speaking of Sami Callihan, I was at a House of Hardcore event at the 2300 Arena, and I saw Ricochet and Sami Callihan just tear down the fucking building. It was it was insane.
Right.
So my father would take my stepdad would take us to House of Hardcore shows too, and I saw him versus Brian Cage too.
Mm-hmm.
Can only imagine.
Wow.
those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they match up. Jeez, that's awesome. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the current wrestling product. So there's during any average week, there's probably 257 shows you can watch. But what do you, what if you watch professional wrestling currently? Because I know we talk to a lot of people who don't really follow the product much, but if you watch it, what do you like to watch?
Still WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I try to get, I try to keep up as much as I can. I try to catch up on what the UK scene is, even the UK deathmatch scene, Japan as much as I can. I follow mostly New Japan, BBT. When Kenta tells you need to go to Big Japan Pro Wrestling, it's fucking Kenta too.
You do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
No, that's the literally advice he gave me. It's you belong in Big Japan.
There you go.
Nice. There it is.
Great, son. I got fucking I couldn't help but fucking smile when he called me Gray Son. So
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's very cool. Oh,
but
man. I can only imagine. Jeez.
But even if it's the only I try to watch everything. The most Canadian promotion I watch is besides Impact Wrestling is Alpha One Pro Wrestling, and Mexico is just I just scroll through my Facebook feed because you follow pages of lucha whatnot, and you just see. My wife is gonna hate me for this, but if you my feed is nothing but thick luchador.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just I just want to watch some normal lucha libre, not hey.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Facebook algorithm. Am I right?
Oh,
I know
crazy.
It's crazy.
Well, talking about Mexico. So my wife works for the cable company, which is the only reason that we're able to afford cable, because cable is just below the price of eggs right now. That's
it's
how
absurd.
expensive it is.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
It's $8 of eggs.
Yeah,
it's
ridiculous.
it's absurd. It's literally absurd.
But anyways, on our cable system, we have a ton of on-demand channels, and I actually have a AAA wrestling on-demand channel where it's just 24
Nice.
hours a day
Nice.
of AAA
Nice.
wrestling. Now, I don't speak the language, so I don't know a word of what's going on. Like when they do promos, I'm lost. I can
Right.
pick out like 2 words here and there. But it's a lot of fun to watch. A lot of times you have no idea what's going on. You don't understand what people are doing or why this guy's fighting this guy. But it's so different. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. Like, especially when you have like U.S. wrestlers like go over to Mexico or
Yeah.
like Japanese wrestlers. Again, Mexico is like a melting pot. Like I had the AAA game like growing up and whatnot with the TNA game too, and it kind of sucks that you don't get like any type of more wrestling games like that.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Like, you know. They had that one period of like, hey, this is a AAA game, like, and it sold like okay, but they're
yeah.
It lost in the shovel with WWE games too.
Yeah. Sure. Well, it doesn't help that other than the 1 year, they make one every year. With the exception of 2021, because they realized that 2K20 was such hot garbage that they needed to reassess themselves, take 2 years off, and figure out how to make it better again.
Yeah, I'm not buying that game until it's like $1. That's
right,
it.
Right.
So I bought 2K. I bought 2K19, and then when 2K20 came out, I sold 19 to GameStop in my purchase of 20, and then like 3 months later, I sold 20 back to them to rebuy 19.
Right,
it was insane.
Well, because 19 was so good, and to go from 19
really
to 20
good.
and see how bad they went, like how far down they went. I'm like, how did you go from an amazing game to just a hot garbage game?
No, 19 WWE 2K19 literally served us so much.
Oh yes,
like
absolutely.
It saved us so much during the first like pandemic and everything.
Yep.
Because like it was like what why
right.
Why
right.
So first off, now we're gonna talk about video games and things like that, but I have to ask because you mentioned TNA. Were you a fan of the 6-sided ring?
Yeah, I was.
You liked it?
And like just to hear because it made them different, it made them unique.
Yeah, right.
You see that in like Mexico, like wrestling shows, but to see that in like America, it was so different and so innovative. It was so different, innovative. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's where the stutter comes.
I get it.
It's just it was just unique. But then when you hear stories about like Sting, AJ Styles, and Jeff Jarrett of all people saying, "Yeah, we hated that ring."
Oh, dude, Styles hated it.
So
he was just on an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and they asked him about it, and he said, while it was cool, I guess because of the way it was made, the bumps were so much worse than just a regular 4-sided ring.
Yeah,
versus.
You hear a lot of wrestlers say about how difficult it was to wrestle in that ring. Different from a normal ring.
Yeah, but like you could have got like I don't know, like you could have like custom made it and like have like a spring, like at least like a spring and everything into it. Like I wrestled. I can honestly say I wrestled it like in a 6-sided ring, not 6-sided ring. That's not on the list yet. I wrestled in a 12-foot ring, a 16-foot ring, and a boxing ring.
Nice. Nice.
No.
Not nice. Not nice. Not nice.
No,
the center, because they all teach us to bump in the center.
Right.
The center of a boxing ring is a fucking metal plate.
Oh geez. Oh no. Oh no.
Man, that doesn't sound fun.
Imagine like you think you got a bump in the center. No. On the corners,
right?
Because with the corners on the boxing ring, you could just bounce, and you're like, you can do a standing 630,
right?
No, I do those regularly.
Right.
That's my warm up in the morning. Before I go to work. Standing 6:30. Yep.
Standing
But-
6:30s.
Yep.
So if you ask me, it's like, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to wrestle in a boxing ring or a 6-sided ring? I'll take the 6-sided ring
Sure.
every goddamn day.
Right. Sure.
So I was not necessarily a fan of the 6-sided ring, but I always thought like the lockdown pay-per-views with the 6 sides of steel. I thought the steel like the steel cage match in that 6-sided ring to me was just incredible.
Was really cool. Yeah. It was so cool.
Till to the point where it's like, hey, we're gonna have every match in a 6-sided
Right.
ring.
The whole match. The whole show.
Yeah, and then I can remember Christopher Daniels going like, no.
Right. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
So when you're not grappling in the ring and when you're not trying to make others hurt, bleed, pain, all that fun stuff, what do you like to do outside of the ring if you have the time?
So I recently started playing Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Oh.
Nice.
Starting to get obsessed with it.
Okay.
And my bank account is looking a little low with that.
Oh no.
But no, I just like to cook food, Italian
nice.
food and everything.
Nice.
I like
Awesome.
barbecuing. So I wasn't a guy that uses spices a lot growing up. So when my wife came into my life and everything, she showed me how to use spices and whatnot. So
Right.
I like spice everything, like my chicken, my broccoli, just the whole 9 yards. A huge comic book collector.
Nice.
Watch. I like and I'm on this deep dive of like old movies and whatnot because let's just be fair, Marvel movie and DC movies nowadays either suck or you yell at like Disney and Warner Brothers that they're fucking stupid and have no idea what the fuck they're doing half the time. Excuse my language and everything.
No,
But this is where
I feel you.
triggered the autistic side of me and be like, Jesus Christ, we have to end the stream now.
Listen, if we haven't been canceled yet, we're not going to be. So
I know, right?
you're good.
No, once I get going, you can't stop me. This is how much I love like comic books. I love like old anime and everything. I've been watching noir black and white movies and whatnot.
Nice.
Like, it's literally all because I watched the movie called The Thing from John Carpenter.
Yes.
Watch the fucking Thing. It is the greatest movie
It's so good.
horror movie of all time. It is better than Alien. Fight me
It
if
certainly
you
is.
think I'm wrong.
I'm on the bandwagon with you.
There you go.
100%. So that was a lot of stuff. So a couple 2-3 things. So first off, I feel you on the spices. My wife does not eat red meat, no beef, no pork, just chicken and turkey. But the chicken and turkey is always good because she knows how to use spices. Like she has learned. Like we have a huge, gigantic spice rack, and she knows how to use spices. So that's one thing. What else do you say? So The Thing. Speaking of The Thing, I used to be in a tabletop role-playing group, a quite large one. I think at one point we had like 18 people playing. But one New Year's Eve, we decided to just stay up all night and play games, and so we watched the movie The Thing, the original John Carpenter version. And then we went and played the tabletop game, The Thing, right after, which was
nice.
It's
nice.
a really fun game. It's again, but Warhammer. Oh man, I introduced my wife to Warhammer. I don't play because my bank account could not handle it. But I live in Lehighton. So about 10 minutes away in Jim Thorpe, we have a store that just sells Warhammer.
Nice.
And about 10 minutes in the other direction, and here's a shout out to the good folks at PPW Wrestling.
Hey,
they are 10 minutes from my house where they run their shows. It's called the Slatington Expo Center, and the big room where they run their shows, I think either once or twice a month on Saturdays. They have it's open for people to come and play Warhammer, and you go in there and there's like 15-20 tables set up of people playing Warhammer.
Nice.
So my wife and I went through and walked around, and she's like, because we didn't know what it was at first. We just kind of looked in the door, but then we actually went in and walked around. And oddly enough, there's also a guy at the Expo Center that runs that sells like Warhammer stuff. But she got a good look at it as we were walking around. She's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh, this is Warhammer, and it is expensive."
Yeah.
If you want to be good, it's expensive.
Yeah. They did an amazing. Amazon did. It's called like Secret Levels or something on Amazon. But they did like a Warhammer episode, which I highly recommend you guys check out.
Gotcha,
bro. If the Henry Cavill show, Warhammer show, is like that, it's going to be Amazon's biggest money maker if they do it right.
Yeah, if they do it right.
I'm a big guy on lore and everything. If you follow the war, then the money rolls in. If you don't follow the war, the lore and everything, then you're gonna get so much backlash. It's not even gonna be funny, and then that's why half these companies are like, "What the heck are we gonna do?" and everything. I'm like, just follow the lore, but we can't because of this political thing. Fucking bullshit. Just ignore everything and just follow the book. It's right there.
Just do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you did mention video games. You mentioned Assassin's Creed, which I fell down a rabbit hole. Like I have a bunch of the Assassin's Creed games, but I fell down a rabbit hole and got so obsessed with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like I was just 100% in completely. Like I was just playing all the time. And my wife will tell you, like there were many nights where, she'd be in bed hours before me because I'd be up playing Odyssey. But this is something that's very divisive on our show. So I'm going to ask you, are you PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
What up?
Man,
love it.
What is going on? Like, I need to start screening these guests. Like that. Like when somebody wants to come on the show, the first question is going to be, "Are you Xbox or PlayStation?"
PlayStation, right?
If
no hesitation at all. Just like Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah.
I was a PS2 guy. Till the Xbox 360 came out.
Right.
So.
And oddly enough, I was as well, and I got the 360. And then I got what was next after the 360? No, I think it was the 360. I had no idea. What was next after the 360?
The one.
The one. Xbox One. So
Xbox One.
I got Xbox One, but I ended up selling it to buy a PlayStation 4 because all my friends were playing Final Fantasy 14 on PC.
Right.
And I didn't have a gaming PC, and they're like, "You got to get in on this game." So I bought a PlayStation 4 so we could all, play together. But yeah, I've kind of always been PlayStation, I guess. I don't, and if anybody asks me this, I'll deny it. But I don't think Xbox. I don't have a problem with Xbox. Like I'm not like anti Xbox. It's just I've always gravitated towards PlayStations.
No, I get that and everything too. You have your factions and whatnot, so there's that. And there are some nights where my wife plays either Final Fantasy or like Kingdom Hearts.
Right, so there you go. Yeah.
And I would play Kingdom Hearts and everything too, but I gotta go back. I gotta go back to like game one. I'm not the original. The original, like 1, 2, and 3, not like one, and then you have multiple timelines and everything with like PS2 games and whatnot. If Microsoft makes I would love it if Microsoft makes Kingdom Hearts 4 with Roger Rabbit, world and everything.
Oh yes,
could you imagine?
Still one of my favorite movies growing up was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Oh, yeah, so good.
Absolutely.
What I honestly think, this might be divisive. I've said it before. I'm not sure if on the show, but I've said it out loud. I think Who Framed Roger Rabbit is better in looks, in style, and in animation than Space Jam.
Oh, 100%.
For its time,
100%.
It looks so much better at that period than Space Jam did in the 90s when it came out.
Oh yeah, no, who was the actor and everything in the Roger Rabbit? Mike.
I don't remember his name. But I do know that the guy who plays Doom or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
The villain with his crazy
Bob
eyes.
Hoskins,
Oh.
Bob Hoskins was the guy in Roger Rabbit.
Bob Hoskins did a better job than Michael Jordan, number one. And
Oh, yes.
the guy that played Doom, it's like you can
Oh, Christopher
like
Lloyd, yeah.
Yeah,
Christopher
Lloyd, yeah.
Lloyd did such an amazing
Nightmare fuel.
job too.
Nightmare fuel.
But
Oh,
here's the thing. So I went to go watch the movie again. They secretly tell you that he's a toon. Because if you watch his scenes,
Mhm.
there is like there is no wind when you're on like the other characters.
Right.
So why is he the only one like has like his jacket blowing in the wind?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
That's
go.
the
I
fucking
mean,
that's what you have to watch and everything for.
Right.
That's why I like going back and watching old movies and whatnot. Because if I wasn't a professional wrestler, I would have done like screenwriting or like
Wow.
just doing like writing movie scripts and whatnot. Because I would love to do like a Roger Rabbit 2 or whatnot, or like something
Mhm.
like that in
Right.
the element. But we got Player Ready 1 or whatever it was
Yeah.
called.
yeah. Mhm.
Ready Player
And-
One. Yeah.
I would make Ultraman like an American Ultraman TV series, right?
Mhm.
So
Nice. Nice.
Now, do you have a favorite like movie series or like a movie franchise?
so this
it's
is
a
where
tough
I'm gonna
one.
be. No, actually, it isn't.
Oh, okay.
So
Alright.
I'm gonna be divisive on this. I really like the Suicide Squad series
Oh, okay.
from DC.
Okay.
I'm a huge Suicide Squad fan, and I get a lot of inspirations on my outfits and whatnot on
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
on like the different colors and everything. Like I got like a purple pants and everything, obviously Joker. I got
Right.
red and black
Mhm.
pants, Harley. I got blue
Sure.
pants and whatnot from like Captain Boomerang. Like my green
Right.
pants is based off of Killer Crocs.
Nice.
Crocs, like skin tone and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
there's
awesome.
always that too. And I just wish they could have done what they were originally going to do, make a hard R Suicide Squad, like that
Right.
first trailer feeling. Like you can tell this
Mhm.
was going to be gritty, this was going to be different.
Right.
Then Guardians of the Galaxy came out. It's like, oh hey, it's jokey, and everything's sunflowers and lollipops and colors everywhere.
Mhm.
Ugh. And once again, we have a giant laser pointing to the sky and everything that happened in every goddamn movie between 2012 and 2015. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy. So as far as comic books go, do you have maybe a favorite comic book character or maybe a favorite comic book series that you sort of gravitate towards?
well, Suicide Squad, number one. And oddly enough, I do have one right here. It's called Psycho Killers.
Ooh.
Oh,
Independent and everything.
Nice.
like, Just a bunch of bounty hunters trying to kill each other. Like
Oh,
they're
very
like
cool.
off the grid.
nice.
Like off the grid, John Wick style and whatnot. And then the other one I'm adding on to a collection is called Godzilla in Hell. Basically,
Ooh.
Godzilla's journey in hell and everything.
That's
like,
awesome.
Jeez.
No words, no nothing. You could just tell by like the art style and everything on what's
Right.
gonna happen next and whatnot.
That's
So
really cool. That's awesome.
I saw a cool announcement today. I don't know if it came out today, but it was fairly recent. Now I'm a big fan of Batman. That's really the only like DC I really follow. And I got really big into the Arkhamverse. Like I was very obsessed
Yes.
with all of that. So that's
It's
why
a great
Suicide
game.
Squad,
It's a
like Kill
great
the Suicide
game.
Squad was such
the
or Kill the Justice League was
Arkhamverse is the best Batman universe.
Oh
my
round
God.
one.
absolutely
So good.
so good. Yeah.
I was so mad about that Suicide Squad game too. Like I was like, this is like, no, I'm not buying this. It is disgusting. It
Right.
is stupid.
That was
Why?
now that was the first game I got for PS5, but I bought it on sale at GameStop. I knew it was bad, but I was so much into the Arkhamverse story that I thought like I'd want to at least know the story of this game. But the story is just the whole thing is just terrible.
So wait, you're into the Arkham universe, and
Yeah.
the first game you bought was the Suicide Squad game.
Well, for PS5, I have
The
all of
PS5.
I have all
When
the
you bought it.
Arkhamverse. I have all the
Okay.
Arkhamverse for PS4. Like I can still play that through the PS5. But
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Because with that, at least like the old games have way better story. Like the story's
do.
way
Oh yeah,
better,
right.
and the graphics are way better too.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah. It
So-
was just a disappointment all around. But they announced that they're going to do a Dark Knight Returns style story with Daredevil,
Okay.
and I thought that's
Okay.
a really cool idea. You know,
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think it could be good.
Yeah, I heard something about that they were gonna do like oh yeah, since Suicide Squad didn't work, here's a Batman Beyond Arkham style game. So this
Right.
could have
I
been
did hear something.
so why did you choose not to make this game instead? You know,
Right,
besides that
right.
freaking
Yeah.
whatever Oculus or whatever game is too.
Right,
Like,
right.
it's
I don't know
stupid.
why they didn't decide to make the Superman game they had planned, because if they
Right.
had taken the same direction as the Batman games, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But we get crap instead. Well, yeah. So you said you were watching some noir films recently, correct?
Mhm.
So suggest something. What if somebody's going to get into noir films, what is something you think that they should watch?
Good question.
Definitely. It's called Ping Express.
Okay.
So German American doctor in China,
Okay.
going through helping out people, falls in love with Russian spy, or that's an old flame, and then it's basically Chinese rebellion army, fighting through communism and whatnot, hijack the train and whatnot. So anything with a let's just point it simple. Anything with a hijacking a train is plus in my book.
Okay.
Um,
Got it.
I'm definitely gonna check out The Thing from the Other World,
Oh,
So-
okay.
the original
The OG.
Thing movie,
Mhm.
and I guess it's just because what's that one movie that inspired George Lucas?
That one I'm not
can't
sure
think-
about.
I can't, the life of me can't think about it, but it's like all futuristic. It inspired Star Wars.
Okay.
So the crack research team is on top of that, and they tell me that it is Akira Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress.
There
Yeah.
you go.
That inspired.
There you go.
Yes. We
So-
have quite the research team here.
Yeah, just anything that if you want to watch a black and white film, you gotta be in the mood for it.
Right.
And I think if you read the titles and watch previews of like on YouTube and whatnot, and
Right.
just look at it, like watch it. That's
Yeah.
what I've been doing recently. I've been going to watch Union. I'm going to watch Union Pacific next too. So.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
All right. Is it that
I-
time, Ralph?
I think it is that time, Sean. I know this is always an exciting time for you.
Yeah.
Because you love this, but we have arrived at the final question of the interview, and Sean, take it away.
So for you, Nico Gray, what
Yes.
does pro wrestling mean to you personally, and what is the significance that it has had on your life?
It has led me to a bunch of opportunities in my real life that I thought I would never imagine to. It's something that that has brought me and it's something that brought me and my stepfather closer together, of him I now like I pronounced him as my real father and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what it would mean to me the most, it could be any wrestling show, it could be any match, like the opener, the middle card, a title match, Cage of Death, like CZW, like any promotion. I just want to wrestle in the 2-300 arena, the ECW arena,
Yep.
and just have him watch me wrestle front row. That is the biggest like compliment and my biggest like to-do list before I die. Because I'm sorry if I'm getting emotional while I talk about this, but he has been such a big influence in my life that I can never thank him enough.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally the top thing I want to do for him, and just say how, like, just to show him how much that wrestling means to me and what has he introduced me to.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very, very good answer. All right. Well, it has been fantastic getting a chance to learn a little bit more about the man called Nico Gray. Very exciting. A lot of stuff to talk about. A treasure trove of nerd culture, and that is always appreciated on this show.
Yes,
and
always.
Oddly enough, that's going to segue us into our main event top 5.
Top 5.
Sean, listen.
I've been chomping at the bit for this top 5.
I know you are so excited.
I'm so
for this.
excited.
I feel like I should take a 2K25 break while you guys just, become best friends. But Sean, before your face explodes, what is the top 5?
We are doing top 5 iterations of the Power Rangers. I have been a Power Rangers fan ever since I was a kid, as we have learned. So has Nico. I've been seeing some posts. He's been posting about the new what they've been doing with the brand, and it's not been good. It's been very sad in the world of Power Rangers. But we're on to the more positive things. So we're doing top 5 iterations of the Power Rangers, not just the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are on which seasons made your top 5. Now, before we get started, did you have any runner-ups? That did not make the cut.
Zeo.
Oh wow!
Zeo's runner up.
Okay.
Obviously you have to throw in the very first season OG.
Right, of course. Get it out there. Get it out of the way.
And Wild Force.
Okay.
Was a follow, but it didn't make the cut.
Didn't make the cut. So you guys didn't make the cut. You're out. You're done. No yeet. All right. So then start us off to number 5. Let's go.
Number 5. Power Rangers SPD.
Okay. We were just talking about this one off air. SPD, I didn't mind it as much, but I did like that it sort of kept with the tried and true method of a Power Ranger show. Like,
you could have kept it. You could have made it like another season of Lightspeed.
Right.
Because you could have had recurring characters, or have old monsters reappearing from Time Force, because it all expands from that.
Right.
So you could have had reoccurring characters. I like the suits and whatnot, especially I'm always a Green Ranger guy.
Always.
But
tried and true.
But the Blue Ranger outfit and helmet was badass.
Oh yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I think SPD had some of the more creative, extra Ranger suits that weren't part of the original core.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They had their own super awesome outfits and super awesome get-ups. They were really freaking cool. Yeah,
the White Ranger of that series, that suit was also
yes.
I didn't like his Zord though. It was a giant motorcycle. It was.
Yeah, it wasn't.
If it was
no.
something else, I would have been fine with it.
Right.
So, but no, Monsters was cool. The special effects on Doggy were amazing too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. All right. Number 4.
Number 4. Power Rangers Dino Thunder.
Yes.
You have to. It is literally the official, to the fans, the official last season of good Power Rangers. You have Jason David Frank returning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The suits were cool. They were amazing.
They were.
I just wished the giant long neck Zord could transform into a giant Megazord.
Right.
Like
right.
just that.
Yeah.
But no, you have it carrying the other Zords too. 3D, it's like all right, cool, okay, fine. It was the dawn of like 3D animation,
right,
not using Zords and whatnot.
Yeah,
but you could have used like other you could have done it with like G1 like Power Rangers,
yeah,
like toys
absolutely.
And everything too.
Absolutely, yeah. You could have done the same thing. That's where I started to kind of fall off because, like I was saying to you kind of off the air, after they kind of did away with like the more practical effects of the Zords, I was like, what? Yeah. That was what made you guys cool, is that you made everything practical rather than having to use the power of CGI to make it look cooler. But I also think that was like, other than like making special appearances, that was his final full season as a Ranger before just becoming like a special act here and there after that season was over.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, but like, come on, like really? So, all right. So number 3. Power Rangers Time Force.
Okay. That one I think was where I sort of started to fall off. Was around that time?
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it full. I watched some episodes, but I couldn't like stick to it.
It's in an era of television where you can write the most batshit crazy backstories with time travel. Like, think about it. You had like I think it was 97 or 98, don't know, but you literally had like the top sci-fi shows like X-Files, DS9, Babylon 5, and just to that, like Starship Troopers with Time Force, it's insane. So, again, like you can make crazy batshit stories and not question it. Plus, also the fact it's like you going back in time and future people have no sense of like, oh, hey, you look like our friend are killed. Let me grab your face.
Right.
Like, oh my God, you look so much like him. Excuse me, you're holding my face very closely to you.
Right. You're touching my face. Stop touching my face. All right. So we're getting down to our top 2 here.
Number 1's gonna be
number 2 first.
No. There's 2. I have 2 top number 1s.
Oh, it's a tie. Okay.
It's a tie.
Okay.
So number 2 is literally Power Rangers in space.
Okay, that one is probably one of my favorites outside of the original, because it was supposed to be the original end of the series. Fun fact, if those pirates that may or may not know, In Space was supposed to be the finale of the American version of Power Rangers. It was supposed to end with In Space. They brought back literally every villain from every prior iteration at the end to do one big last battle. And then they decided, let's make money and keep going with it.
Yeah. Honestly, my favorite arc of that entire series is the Psycho Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
Literally my favorite thing from that. That's the reason why it's my top. It's in my top 2.
Okay.
Like, suits were like, okay, kind of boring and whatnot, but like just the monsters and everything, like, and them going like onto outer worlds and whatnot, and not Earth at the same time is amazing. And the amount.
I loved that their Zord was like a Zord inside of a Zord, because the spaceship was a Zord, but then like their Megazord came out of the spaceship, so you can have 2
Yeah.
Megazords. It was just crazy. They had like Inception of Zords in that season.
Yeah. You don't even question it too. It's like, how does this size compared to this size? Is
Right.
it that like? And you
Right.
don't question it at the time.
Nope. You don't ask questions. You just okay. This is just this is what it is.
Yeah.
So with that, what is tied with the number 2? What is the number 1, if you will?
My 2 number 1s is Lightspeed Rescue
Okay.
and Lost Galaxy.
Okay. Weren't those 2 like back to back?
Yes.
Yes. Right.
So it's in a time period where they're back to back, but obviously it also says, are they on Earth or are they not on Earth at the same time?
Right.
So because you have this technology, but at the same time, you're dealing with like outer space too.
Right.
So, and then I actually met the voice actress for Lady it's Lady Diabolical or
right.
something like that for
something
Lightspeed
close to that.
Rescue.
Right. Yeah.
I literally have a photo frame of me and her, and it just meeting her and everything was awesome. I was the only one that asked her about Power Rangers too. Like,
okay,
you see, like, she was shocked that I even asked for like her Power Rangers like autograph because she had nothing but like P. Herman. She played as Mrs. Pennyworth in the Batman, which I didn't even realize. And then her like DS9 stuff and everything. So, and I literally said to her, "You were my favorite villain growing up."
That's awesome.
Screw everyone that said anything else and made her cry about that because I just bought up Power Rangers.
Nice.
And I did, and again, it's like that whole like, it's that whole like in the time period of like, oh hey, like you had nothing but like cop shows and like Blue Bloods and everything, like playing in the background, and then with Lost Galaxy, it was still in the realm of like nothing but like sci-fi, like the choices are like endless, like DS9, Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica.
Yep.
I and in the realms of Farscape, like old school stuff too, and then their like army suits that showed up in like Firefly, then in Lost Galaxy, and then in Starship Troopers is like crazy.
Yeah.
So you can also connect that, like you have Firefly, Lost Galaxy, and Starship Troopers all in the same universe. This is how much of a fucking nerd I
am. Perfect.
Yeah.
Freaking perfect.
Well, in case you were wondering, I'm still here. A wonderful top 5. Definitely went off in all kinds of different directions and brought in all kinds of nerd culture things. So definitely always top 5, and one that I know Sean was super excited for.
Always.
Definitely.
I could talk Power Rangers all day.
Ralph is just saying the corner. It's like, for the love of God,
right?
I have this repeating loop in my head that's like, no yeet. It's just looping in my head.
No yeet.
All right. Well,
I will add.
Yes,
I will add a comment to the no yeet.
Okay.
Right. Go ahead.
About WrestleMania.
Yes. Go ahead.
Jey Uso is going to get squashed.
Oh.
Gunther is going to mop the floor with powerbomb after powerbomb after powerbomb after powerbomb after powerbomb.
All right.
See, that's what I want to see. I think that like we need to just, I'm not I've never been really an Usos fan, and I believe if you go back to one of our very earliest episodes, I talk about how overrated I thought the Usos were.
Yeah.
I've never been an Usos fan, but this whole Yeet thing has just got me. I'm not a fan at all. It's just not for me.
Honestly, I like them better when they're a tag team. It's just like, okay. But at the same time, it's like, whatever works, whatever draws some money, you know?
Right.
They're
mean,
actually
yeah.
like, WWE is actually listening. If it sells money and merch, why not go with it instead of like going against it? Like, this is our guy. Meh. So,
Right.
Yeah, no,
Again,
and that makes sense.
again, this whole trip, I don't care what you say about this whole Triple H era. I'm actually enjoying wrestling and actually seeing what's gonna happen next instead of like being like, ugh, I gotta watch 3 hours of this garbage show again.
Yeah,
Right.
You know, wrestling right now is getting a breath of fresh air. It is and not with just WWE, like all the indies too. It is getting a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
There's always like new talent coming in versus old talent. You have dream matches left and right and whatnot.
Right.
So the product's better. So
yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, that is going to do it for our top 5 portion of the show. We're going to take a momentary break, but when we come back, we're going to get into some upcoming events with Nico Gray.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can see our interview from last week with Dirty Love on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're here next week for Crash Maverick. If you didn't notice, there's some thumbs up in that there graphic, which, if you know anything about me, I'm all about the thumbs
All
up.
about the thumbs.
So you can see that and all the rest of our great content over on YouTube. And we've got a busy schedule coming up for March. We're going to be a number of places. On the 22nd, we're going to be in Paulsboro, New Jersey at the Monster Factory for Bell to Bell, Ring the Bell. We're super excited. This will be our first Bell to Bell show. So we will be there conducting some interviews before the show, doing our thing and covering all the action. And then the following day, we will be in Philadelphia at the Old Pine Community Center for Wrestle Cup 3, which we are an official sponsor for.
That's right.
Labor of Love and Sean Henderson Presents are coming together again for this awesome show, Wrestle Cup 3. And then the following week, Sean, we'll be in Philly again.
Sponsoring another show.
That's
a
correct.
second show.
And
back to back.
This is a debut show. This is Power Pro Lucha. They're going to be at the Arlen Specter U.S. Squash Center in Philadelphia, an incredible facility, and this is going to be their debut show. A lot of great matches already signed.
Can't wait.
A lot of surprises at the show. We're super excited for that one. And just want to remind everybody, tickets are now on sale for the next Royalty Wrestling show.
Yeah, Masquerade Brawl.
After their very successful first show of 2025. Chivalry is Dead. They will be back at the Forest VFW in Sellersville. A great company, great show. So definitely
awesome show.
If you're going to be in the area, get your tickets for that. And we will be check the channel because we will be doing some new event centers for all of those events coming up this week. So check out the channel for that. And that brings us to Nico Gray. What have you got going on?
So March 23rd, Sunday in New Jersey, I will be part of X Brand Wrestling, my new deathmatch home and everything. The guys down there put on crazy shit and everything. I highly recommend. April 5th, me and the CZW crew will be in Philadelphia, around the Philadelphia area, at a brewery and everything.
Yes.
Just Something's Brewing. Highly recommend that too. You come out, you just watch wrestling, drink beer,
Yep.
bring some snacks,
It is
I
a,
think
it is
it's
a very
standing
cool
room.
venue.
Oh,
We've,
yeah,
we've
I
been
think
there
it's
before, and it's very cool.
nice.
They do wrestling.
Nice.
They do wrestling in the back room. They have a whole area where
Yep.
it's set up, and it's such a. I want to say it's such an intimate feel. Like it has
It
its
is.
own vibe to it. It's a
It
very
is.
cool place to go.
So, and yeah, so if you guys were there, you might want to get a shot of me power bombing someone on a pile of kegs if you can. So,
Oh,
Ooh,
there you
okay.
go.
All
Look at
right.
that, man, making promises already. Awesome, I love it.
and I don't apologize to whoever my opponent is.
No,
your
no,
ass is going
no.
into that pile of kegs.
Am I going to apologize? No. All right. Well, yeah. You have anything else coming up?
If you ever want to book me for your show,
Oh,
if you
okay.
ever want to see
Yeah.
me, contact me through Facebook at Nico Gray, Instagram, House of Mad Gray at House of Gray,
Mhm.
Twitter, Bastard Son 93.
Yep.
If you ever want me a part of your show, and if you're the old school guy, my email is booknicogray.com. If
There
you
you go.
want to support me and everything, you could just search my name, Nico Gray. That is NICCO, capital GREY.
Yeah.
The official gray word, not this GRAY, GREY.
EY. Get it right.
Nonsense.
Get
That's
it right.
Well, you just did my job for me, so thanks a lot. Definitely make sure that if you have a chance to see Nico Gray on a show, go out, check him out, support the companies he wrestles for.
That's right.
CZW, X Brand Wrestling. Just get out there and support independent wrestling. Buy merch, do whatever you can, because that is extremely important to us.
Absolutely.
Here. We like to get as much as much focus on the indie shows that are going on as we can,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
give as much support as we can. So well, this has been a very fun episode.
Absolutely.
It's been great to get to chat it up with you a little bit longer than we did last time.
Yeah.
we
Hey, I had a great time on here. So if you ever want me back again, we
Oh.
can talk about Sean. We could talk about more Power Rangers, and
Right.
Ralph could just watch
I
and
could
just
just-
play WWE 2K.
Right,
and Ralph
yeah,
could talk about
right.
nerd
Sure.
stuff and art and D&D, and Sean could just be like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm screwing through Twitter. He's not talking
Right.
about Power Rangers. Me."
Sure. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you are welcome here anytime on the show. It has been a lot of fun getting to chop it up with you today. So again, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming on the show. Like I said, welcome here anytime.
No, thank you
So-
for having me.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's going to about wrap it up for us here at Opinion
Yes.
City. For Nico Gray, for Parmesan, I'm King Ralph. Remember, kindness is free, so be kind to each other. And God bless, and we will see you
Yeah.
next
time.
Hey,
Out.
and hit. All right.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
No.
Bonus-
Before we
bonus
go,
content,
before we end
bonus,
this,
content.
bonus.
before we end this,
Uh-oh.
Bonus.
give these guys a like and hit the subscribe button because these guys are awesome. All right.
Oh, dude, we
That's all.
appreciate that so much.
Thank
you.
you.
And
Thank you.
I know John Cena appreciates it as well.
Well, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed it. We had a ball making it. Thank you very